Water cycle. Water from rivers, lakes, ponds, oceans and seas, etc. evaporates all the time from the Earth's surface. In fact, evaporation is a continuous process of the Earth. If you spread wet clothes on the clothesline for drying, the water evaporates from them and escapes to the sky in the form of water vapor. This change of water into water vapors is called evaporation. The water vapor rises up with warm air. Since it is cold high up, water vapors cools down and condenses to form tiny droplets of liquid water. This change of water vapor into water drops is called condensation. A large number of such droplets accumulate high up in the atmosphere to form clouds. When the clouds cool down further, these tiny droplets form larger drops of water and fall to the ground as rain. In cold weather, the water drops may freeze and fall as hail or snow. The falling down of water from earth in the form of rain, hail or snow is called precipitation. This cyclic movement of water from the sources of water to sky as water vapor and from sky to the earth as rain, hail or snow is called water cycle. It is a continuous process in nature. The rain falls on the earth. Some of this water drains into rivers and some seeps down through the soil and collected as groundwater. This cyclic movement of water from the atmosphere to the earth and back to the atmosphere through various processes is called water cycle. The movement of water in nature through water cycle is a never-ending process. It maintains the water supply on the earth. The process completes in the following steps. Evaporation. Water in seas, rivers, lakes, ponds or streams evaporates because of the heat of the sun. Plants also give out a large amount of water through their leaves. This is called transpiration. Condensation. Water vapors rise up and condense to form clouds. Precipitation. Water stored in clouds reaches the ground in the form of rain, hail or snow. Drought. The insufficient or complete lack of rainfall for a long period of time in a particular area is called drought. In the absence of sufficient rain, the resources of water like river, pond, lakes, etc. get dried up. The level of water table goes down. The soil becomes dry due to loss of water by evaporation. If there is no rain at all for 1 or 2 years in continuation, the drought condition occurs. Drought results in decrease in the production of food and fodder to a great extent. In the affected area, large number of plants and animals, including human beings, become poor or die due to non-availability of food and water. This condition is called famine. Flood. Flood is a condition in which land area completely submerges in water due to heavy rain. Due to heavy rain, the water level of rivers, ponds and lakes rises up. So these water bodies start overflowing. This excessive water spreads over the land area and covers it completely, leading to flood condition. The occurrence of flood depends on a number of factors like lack of plants in the ground and duration of rainfall. The flood causes lots of damage to houses, crops, domestic animals, human life and properties. There occurs shortage of food and clean drinking water. The flood water seeps down into the soil. When the soil gets too much of water, the air in the soil comes out of it. Animals which live inside the soil come out of it due to the lack of air. Example, earthworms. The diseases like cholera, diarrhea and viral infections spread in the flood-affected area. Conservation of water. Water is the renewable source of energy which gets renewed regularly through water cycle. Still, it needs to be conserved because the large amount of the water is present in oceans and seas which contains only salty water. This water is unfit for drinking and agricultural purposes. The water available for human consumption is being used at a much faster rate than the rate it is being renewed by water cycle. The human activities like urbanization, industrialization, increase in population have increased the consumption of water. Some ways to conserve water are: turn off the tap after use tightly so they do not drip. When brushing your teeth, turn the water off while you are actually brushing. Wash only full loads in your washing machine. Promptly repair any leaks in and around your taps. When washing dishes, never run water continuously. Wash dishes in a partially filled sink and then rinse them with tap water. Water plants during the cool part of the day, in the morning or evening. Do not water on windy days. Do not overwater in anticipation of shortage. Soil cannot store extra water. Do not ever pollute water. Adopt rainwater harvesting technique. Make people aware of the problems which may arise due to scarcity of water. Rainwater harvesting. The process of collecting and storing rainwater from roots or a surface catchment is called rainwater harvesting. The basic idea behind rainwater harvesting is catch water wherever it falls. Rainwater harvesting can be done by two methods: rooftop rainwater harvesting, direct rainwater harvesting. Rooftop rainwater harvesting. Rainwater should be collected on roofs instead of letting it go down the drain. It also solves the problem of drought. This is called rooftop rainwater harvesting. It is done by collecting rainwater from rooftops in drought ponds or underground tanks to store water for longer periods. Another option is to allow water to go into the ground and directly from the roadside drains that collect rainwater. The stored rainwater is treated before use because the seeped rainwater may contain impurities like chemicals, small dead organisms, other pollutants, etc. Direct rainwater harvesting. We can also allow rainwater to go out directly into the ground from the roadside drains that collect rainwater. Rainwater from the roadside goes directly into the ground through pits, trenches, recharge shafts, etc. This water can be used later. Uses of rainwater harvesting. There are many advantages of rainwater harvesting. Some of them are: it reduces demand on groundwater. It helps to improve plant growth. Harvesting rainwater reduces flooding and soil erosion. It reduces water bills. It can be used for non-drinking purposes. Water. Water is a natural resource on the earth. It is present in the atmosphere in solid, liquid, and vapor states. Water makes the entire planet Earth look blue from space. It is a colorless and odorless liquid which is essential for the survival of all living things. Almost 71% of the Earth's surface contains water. Our body contains more than 70% of water. Some vegetables and fruits, like tomato and watermelon, contain more than 95% of water. How much water do we use? We use different quantity of water every day. It depends on the activity where the use of water is required. For example, we need very less water to rinse our mouth, a mug of wash our face, a jug to cook food, and a bucket to take bath. The other activities like watering plants, cleaning and washing clothes require more water. Water is also required for many other activities like irrigation, in industries and thermal power plants, etc. It means water is not only needed for our household activities, it is required in almost all the places and in different quantities. Water also maintains our climate, keeps all living organisms alive, and forms major surface of the earth. States of water are interchangeable. Water exists in 3 states. That is, solid, liquid, and gas. All these states are interchangeable. In solid form, it occurs as an ice and snow. In liquid form, it is water, and in gaseous form, it is water vapor. If we cool water vapor, it converts into water, and water on cooling converts into ice. Change of states. Matter can change from one state to another. The process by which a solid changes to liquid is called melting. The process by which a liquid changes into a vapor is called evaporation. The process by which a gas changes into a liquid on cooling is called condensation. The process by which liquid changes into a solid is called freezing. Sources of water. There are 2 main sources of water on the earth. These are groundwater and surface water. Groundwater. Groundwater is present in between the various layers of soil and impervious rocks. It is actually rainwater which mainly comes from seepage of water accumulated under the ground. Rainwater which goes into the soil gets collected at a certain level. A part of the rainwater gets absorbed by the ground and seems to disappear in the soil. This water is available beneath the surface of the earth, so it is called groundwater. It is free from suspended impurities and it gets filtered through several layers of soil. Groundwater exists in the form of well and spring. Well. The reservoir of water under the earth but above the impervious rocks is called a well. It contains soluble impurities. Spring water. The water which comes out with pressure in the form of spring from any opening in the earth is called spring water. It contains dissolved salts and minerals and it is free from suspended impurities. It has the medicinal value. Water table. The topmost layer of the underground water is called water table. When rainfall occurs, some of it runs off on the surface of earth, which forms streams and rivers. Some of it passes through the soil into the non-porous rocks deep below the ground. The upper level of this groundwater forms the water table. Water table in our country is lowered very much at many places, mainly due to excessive increase in population. The more population demands more resources to survive. For example, when there is more population, it demands more water to survive and for other daily uses. There will be demand of more houses to live. The construction of houses and buildings also requires water. In cities, the construction of pavements, cementing of roads, lanes and other open areas do not allow seepage of water into the ground. To fulfill the different needs of people, various industries are also set up. The industrialization needs more water for its production work. Trees are cut to make buildings, furniture, paper and other usable items. The roots of trees bind the soil in place, which is the storehouse of groundwater. Due to excessive felling of trees, groundwater level is also decreasing. Surface water. Water present on the earth's surface is called surface water. The surface sources of water are rain, river, pond, lake, seas and oceans. Rainwater. It is the purest form of naturally occurring water. At places where heavy industries are present, the pollutants like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide gases are more. These gases dissolve in water to form acids like carbonic acid and sulfuric acid. This results into an acid rain which further damages crops, forests, buildings, etc. Ocean and seas. Ocean and seas contain salty water or saline water. This is due to the presence of large quantities of salt in it, which makes it unfit for drinking and agricultural purpose. It can be made potable by reverse osmosis or RO technique. It also acts as a habitat for large number of plants and animals. It plays an important role in water cycle on the earth. Monsoon rains to the India are the results of clouds of water vapor produced in Indian oceans during summer season. Rivers. The large flowing water bodies are called rivers. Rivers like Ganga and Brahmaputra, which originate from Himalayas, have flowing water throughout the year. There are many other rivers in India which become dry or have very less amount of water during summer. Lakes. The small reservoir of water is called lake. The lakes are formed due to the collection of rainwater in low-lying areas. There are only a few natural lakes in our country. A few artificial lakes have also been built at some places to fulfill the demand of water. Pond. A pond is a small body of standing water. Water collected in pond during rainy season is commonly used for irrigation in South India. Formation of clouds. Clouds are formed due to the process of condensation. The condensation plays an important role in bringing water back to the surface of the earth. When the air moves up, it gets cooler and cooler. At certain heights in the atmosphere, the air becomes so cool that the water present in it condenses to form tiny drops of water called droplets. It is these water droplets that remain floating in air and appear to us as clouds. When many droplets of water come together and form bigger drops, they cannot hold water in them and fall as rain, hail or snow. Thus, water in air goes by evaporation and transpiration by plants and forms clouds and finally again fall as rain, hail or snow. The steps of cloud formation can be summarized as Water vapors rise high up in the atmosphere. These water vapors condense to form tiny droplets of water. Several tiny water droplets accumulate